Hi, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Couch Conversations.
Couch Conversations.
Couch Conversations. We got microphones. You can't tell us nothing now. Ain't that right, babe?
Nothing.
All right. So today's episode is going to be a how we met story. Woohoo! I'm super excited about that. How about you, babe?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to sharing. I don't think, we've never shared publicly, so.
We've never shared this story publicly, so yeah, I think it'll be cool. I think a lot of people will enjoy it, and maybe some of you can relate. So let's get into it.
Okay. Well, I guess we should start with how we met, right?
Okay.
So we'll start with
From the very beginning. Okay. So I think I don't remember how old I was, but it was probably 2009-ish. I don't know. But anyways, it was my first job out of college. I was in North Carolina and I worked at a call center. It was the worst job I ever had. And I used to cry every other day.
Oh my God.
Because we had to take calls from arrogant people who made 6+ figures at the time. Engineers, all sorts of.
I didn't feel that way.
I know. It was bad. It was bad. We handled more than just what you guys handled. So you guys did open enrollment.
Yeah.
We handled everything.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So on a daily basis, we dealt with a lot of attitudes, a lot of arrogance, things like that. And so from there, I realized I hated call centers. Anywho, I was at my wit's end with that job. I was praying every other day that I would get another job. Every other day, I would cry. So,
babe, I didn't know that.
I know.
Oh,
we're telling all the secrets now. So, it was open enrollment again, but they were opening up a call center in New Jersey. And they were going to choose about 6 of us to fly to New Jersey to help train the new employees that would be at the New Jersey call center.
So crazy.
I got chosen because, I guess my performance.
And you were beautiful and the guy was feeling you. And let's tell the truth.
That is not why. So there was this guy who was a supervisor, and I'm pretty sure I was one of his favorites for whatever reason. I don't know. But I was also really good at my job. And
it had nothing to do with how beautiful
Oh my gosh, don't be a hater.
No.
I don't know. I really don't know what it was. But he was like a player or whatever. So he
was
probably
definitely
did see me as somebody maybe he thought he could talk to, whatever. Anyways, as fate would have it, I was one of the 6 who got chosen to fly to Cherry Hill, New Jersey.
Oh my gosh.
And got there and all right, I'll set the scene. There's this call center, open floor, big. It was
a beautiful building.
Yeah, it was a beautiful building. Yeah, big open floor.
The food court was crazy.
It was nice. We got there. We ready to set up, ready to train, do our thing. And so I'm just kind of making my rounds, kind of, observing, seeing everybody. And I look across the room and there's this chick with stockings.
Oh my gosh.
I think
stockings were appropriate.
Pearl earrings.
Probably.
I think you had was it a wig at the time?
Yeah, I lived in a half wig, okay?
Wig, these eyebrows that were they were very different, very bold. I was just like, who is that? She has to be a Christian.
Oh no! I had to look.
I had the look. Okay, you had the look.
I did have the look
of a good Christian woman.
Wow.
And I said,
I was that.
You definitely were that.
Yeah.
And I said, wow, I believe this girl could be my friend.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I made my way over, and literally on straight platonic, just platonic friendship level, I was like, I wanted to introduce.
And we both were like church girls at the time. Oh my God, very much. but not just church girls, but like very much into our faith and trying to live a life that Christ would be pleased with.
Yeah, we were very serious about our Christian walk.
Very much.
So I made my way over. I don't know if I just made a comment or something. Do you remember?
You might have just said hello.
Probably
or just
hello
introduce yourself or something like that.
But I knew, I could tell that either you went to like a holiness church or something because you had on a skirt, you had on stockings.
That was just my style. Wow, the laughing is throwing me off a little bit.
Right, okay.
No, I mean that was my style. I was just very professional. I had a look, I had a style.
Okay.
I wasn't very trendy. I just did my own thing.
Yeah, my bee said she wasn't trendy. It was
I'm
style.
still not trendy, huh?
It was your style.
Yeah, yeah.
So, would make a little comments here and there, and you really didn't pay me no mind.
I didn't pay anybody any mind.
You were so standoffish and antisocial. I was like, this girl, ain't no way I'm ever get to be her friend. But you did, like, you would, say hello. I would make little jokes. You would like laugh and stuff like that.
I was kind.
You were kind, yeah.
But I just didn't really socialize much.
Yeah, you didn't. Yeah. So, I would like on my break time, I would come out. You would be sitting by yourself. I would just walk past on purpose, and I would be like, "Hey," say little stuff and walk back, hoping that you would stop me and actually say something, but you didn't. So, anyways, that was that.
Yeah.
So time went on. I still don't know how we ended up like actually connecting and like being friends.
Yeah, I do. I think. If I remember correctly, I think you said like, let's stay connected. Because I think you guys had to go back.
Yeah.
Like you had to fly back or whatever. And I know that you wanted to just stay connected. I want to say like those were the words that you said. Like, hey, let's just stay connected. And then we exchanged numbers. It was really that simple.
Okay. So we stayed connected. I flew back and forth probably about 5 or 6 times for that project.
Yeah.
Project ended. At that point, we had made a connection. Mm-hmm. And so I wanted to come back on my own to go ahead.
Yeah, I was gonna say. So should I tell my backstory and how I ended up there, and then we kind of meet in the middle?
Yes.
Okay, so this was my first big job too. Now I was just fresh out of. I wasn't fresh out of high school, but I was like kind of in college, kind of not. But this was like my first real job where I had to be professional and like show up. So, yeah, I thought it was cool. I would walk to the train station. It was only like 5 minutes from my grandmother's house. And I looked forward to going there. It was like a beautiful space and it was something new, something different. And my experience like in that call center, it wasn't terrible. It's funny it's not funny that was your experience because that was pretty horrible. But when I say that, I mean, our perspectives on it was so different. Mm-hmm. Like we were assisting them mm-hmm. with, open enrollment, selecting, making their healthcare selections. Mm-hmm. And so the energy was just different. And I was like, oh, this is cool. Like, I get to talk with, what was it? Raytheon and like Lockheed Martin and those kinds of folks. And yeah, it was exposure to companies that at the time I had never heard of. So I thought that was cool. But anyway, that's how I ended up there. I just applied. Was actually through a temporary agency. And I was just out trying to do my thing. I did notice you. I thought you were very beautiful. Ooh. I did. But at the time, again, we both were very much on our journeys in Christianity. And so I just thought you were beautiful. I thought you were stunning, actually. Like, I just thought you had such a beautiful face. Oh. And, I mean, your whole look was just gorgeous
Back
to
then,
me.
what did I have? A pixie cut or
You
something?
had a pixie. You were super slender. And you were just like that girl to me. I just thought you were beautiful. But I
Aw.
also was very quiet and very introverted. And I also didn't want to socialize and have to
Yeah.
explain my faith and all
Yeah.
of that. So I would just sit to myself and do my own thing.
Yeah, you definitely did. Oh, that's good to hear that side. I never heard
Yeah.
your story. So let's fast forward a bit.
So now, so we've met,
Okay.
we exchanged
Mm-hmm.
numbers, and now that project is done.
It's done.
Yeah.
But I felt such a connection with you. I don't know what it was. Something internally, and I told you this
You
before.
love
I've
me.
never Are you done? I've never felt a closeness
Yeah.
to a person like on a very friendship level, but there
Yeah,
was
for sure.
something spiritual. It felt like some kind of bond
Yeah.
internally, but I didn't know what that was. It was a closeness. And I was just like, I want to go back. I want to hang out with her. And
You
so
came
I
back.
came back on my
I
own
was
dime.
so shocked. I mean, I really enjoyed staying connected. And at the time, Facebook was big.
Yeah.
And so we did connect. We stayed connected through
Hmm.
Facebook. But I was very much shocked when you said that you were coming back.
Yeah.
And when you came back the first time, was that we went to New York?
The first time, I don't know if it was New York or
No,
Philly. Was it Philly?
Philadelphia.
It was
Yeah.
Philly, yeah. So we hung out. It was very clean, very wholesome. I was like, "Well, I don't drink," and you were like, "I don't either."
Yeah.
And we just went
We were so
downtown. What do we?
sweet.
I know.
Yeah, we were
What
downtown. We went to the
Philly?
gallery. We
And we
were
went. What was that?
Market
Downtown
Street.
Philly, like the main strip
Yeah, it was just
downtown.
downtown.
Okay.
Yeah.
Philly had my first cheesesteak. You can't
Mhm.
call it Philly cheesesteak, right? It's just cheesesteak.
I mean,
Had my
people
first
not that
Philly.
aren't from Philly would say Philly cheesesteak. Like
Oh.
no one says that in Philly.
See? That's why I know. Had my
Yeah.
first cheesesteak. Do you
Yeah.
remember the spot it was?
I do. I want to
Do you
say it
know?
was, yeah, it was very commercial. And I
Okay.
knew that, but I
Yeah.
just kind of wanted you to have the touristy experience.
Yeah, it's
That's
good.
not like, that's a tourist
Okay.
cheesesteak.
Not
That's
the
not
best of
the
the best.
cheesesteak.
Okay,
Yeah, yeah.
cool. And wasn't there this drink that you wanted me to just like a purple drink or something?
I have no idea, but I wouldn't be
A purple,
surprised.
some kind of
I
drink.
just wanted to show you all of the things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we had a good time and yeah, what else happened? We went to church
We did go
together.
to
I
church.
met your godmom.
Hmm.
You let me see you without makeup.
That was an experience. Yeah, I mean, I was so um I guess insecure in some ways, but that was as a result of some of the things that people have said along the way.
Wow, really?
Yeah, I don't care
Okay.
much now these days, of
Yeah.
course, but at the time, it's just young and
Yeah.
insecure.
Okay.
Yeah.
So fast forward.
Yeah.
Well, not fast forward. So we had an amazing time. I
Mhm.
came back around the Christmas month.
Yeah.
We spent time in New
Yeah,
York
we went to New
City.
York.
Yeah, we
We
had a
have
good
the
time.
best photos from that trip.
Yeah, that was what 2010.
It was a good 14 years
14
ago
years
now.
ago. So imagine 14 years ago, right?
Yeah.
We connected our very initial
Two little church girls in New
connection.
York.
Two church girls hanging out in New York.
Yeah.
Okay. Then, life just happened. So we did
A lot of
continue
life
a lot of
happened.
life.
Gosh.
We continued to stay in touch for the most part.
Yeah, mostly through social media at that point.
Yeah.
Like, I think we tried talking on the phone a couple of times
Yeah.
and whatever, but I think social media was probably just the easiest way to stay
Yeah.
connected.
I was never a phone person anyway.
Me neither. I'm
so
still
yeah,
not.
me
So,
either.
yeah.
Unless you're calling me. Right?
Yeah. But yeah, so it was Facebook pretty
Okay.
much.
So stayed in contact. You would watch my stuff. I would watch yours.
Yeah.
And then
And I kept up with you. Like,
yeah, you said that.
I always considered you a friend, and even though like you were far away and we didn't talk, if someone asked me who are your friends? I
Yeah.
always included you in that
Yeah.
list. And, I just knew that no matter what, we would stay connected. And
Yeah.
I just considered you a friend.
And I did that as well for a long time. Like
Yeah.
my closer friends knew your name. Like,
Same.
yeah.
Yeah.
So, that was that. And then, time continues to go on and, we kind of lose touch a little bit.
Yeah.
But I, was still following you on
And I
social
was still
media.
following you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but I stopped seeing your posts for some reason. Like I didn't really
Probably
see
the algorithm.
of much activity from you.
Because I
Then
was posting.
you're posting? Yeah, I
Yeah.
didn't see anything.
Yeah.
And then I would think like, I wonder what Summer's up to. What happened with Summer? But then one day I see a post from you and you were cussing.
Oh, I was pissed off. So, okay, the cussing post. I believe this is when Donald Trump he won.
Oh, okay.
And I was just like, you got to be fucking kidding me. He didn't expect to win. No one expected him to. He didn't even expect to win.
I think that was around that time.
Yes, because
Okay.
that's when I cussed in public, and I was like,
Oh
"Fuck
my
this!
God.
This is ridiculous."
And I
was done.
Babe, my eyeballs almost shot out of my
I thought
head.
America was going straight to hell at that point. I was just like, what is happening?
Yeah.
Like, we went from this incredibly inspirational president, policies aside, just incredibly inspirational, very much uniting the country. It felt good. And then we went to this extreme opposite.
Yeah.
And I just couldn't hold it in.
Yeah.
I was like, man, this is some fuck shit right here.
So I saw that. Mind you, I'm used to, church girl,
Praise him.
minister, whatever, just all of that.
I know.
And I saw you use profanity for the first time. So I said in my little judgmental mind at the time, what's going on with her? I said, wow.
So many people did.
Wow. I think I should check in on her because that's not like Summer. Maybe something has gotten to her and maybe she's strayed.
He pissed me off.
Away. And I was gonna hit you up, but something would not let me.
Yeah.
I wanted to a couple times because I was like, Summer's different. Like something's different with her. So,
I changed a lot. So I'll just share. So prior to that, when my shift started to happen in terms of my spirituality, you were still very much in your like church world
Very
bubble.
much.
And I had already fully experienced my change at that point in terms of how I felt about the public, how like people's perception of me, none of that mattered to me at that point. I worked for a nonprofit in my hometown, and I was just super Christian, okay? Like super zealous, I was that person. But I was forced in my work environment to work with a gay couple. And I'm saying forced because this is our environment and we all are here to make money and we're all working together. So there was this gay couple, 2 white men, and they had a black daughter. There was a woman who was married to another woman and had children with her ex through sperm donation or something. Then I worked with Wiccans, and I work with atheists, and I work with so many different kinds of people.
This was you straight out of church? Got thrown into that environment. Wow.
And it wasn't even like straight out of church. I was like actively, living a life in Christ. And this is my work environment though.
Oh my God. Okay.
Yeah. So now I'm forced to face all of the things that I think I believe. I'm in this environment and I have to look at these people every day, and it's killing me because I have the scripture and the judgments and the thoughts and all of the things that I've been taught But I love these people.
Babe, do you think that was the universe aligning you
I
and putting
do.
you there?
Like 100%. 1,000%. I realized that I was in a room with some of the most lovely, loving, caring, kind people.
Yeah.
And not judgmental, super open and welcoming and inviting, like being invited to their homes, being invited to their parties, getting to know their children, getting to know them for who they are, and not necessarily trying to view them through the lens of Christianity.
Wow.
And I fell in love with them. And then my entire life started to change. So, like, being at that nonprofit forced me to look at my faith, and then that's when the questions started.
Wow.
I said, how could he go to hell? Like, it didn't make sense.
Yeah.
I learned unconditional love at a nonprofit in the hood, not in church.
Babe,
Yeah.
that is incredible. That had to be the universe.
It changed my whole life.
Yeah.
Yeah. So by the time I cursed on or used profanity on Facebook, I had made this full change.
Okay.
And I was releasing a lot of things. And I was fully embracing summer. And I was fully embracing my own independent thought. And I was no longer bound by people's perceptions.
Okay.
Yeah, or their expectations of me. I
Is,
hated it.
That is such a freeing feeling.
Yeah.
Yeah. And of course, we'll talk about more of that in future
Sure.
episodes.
Yeah.
So, wow. Thanks for sharing it.
Yeah, you're welcome.
You mentioned it briefly, but it's good to hear it again.
So that's like the backstory to the curse words.
The curse word.
Yeah, the profanity on Facebook.
A curse word.
Yeah.
So, I didn't reach out to you, but I was kind of developing my own just thoughts about what was going on with you. I figured, okay, well, she just left the church. She rebelled against God.
Oh no.
All of that, but
not
at the same time, it was like, that's somebody I consider my friend. And so time goes on, I'm seeing that you're this different person. And, it wasn't necessarily where I was. So, I just kind of, I didn't really see opportunity for us to connect or anything. I don't know. I felt like we were just kind of,
we were in very different spaces.
Yeah, in different spaces.
Yeah,
and that was fine.
And I still considered you a friend.
Yeah.
But I just knew that we were in different spaces.
Right, yeah.
And yeah.
Okay. And of course, I was rolling with my church circles and all of that pretty heavily. And so just time and space.
Yeah, lots of time.
And we had not been in contact at all for years, right?
Yeah.
I would say
it was a number of years. Yeah.
More than 6 or 7.
Easy. Yeah.
Then out of the blue, this is no contact for at least, we're going to say 7 years, right? Yeah. Out of the blue.
But then you start to experience your own change.
Yes. So, okay, I'll go into that real quick. So I start experiencing my own spiritual journey about, I would say, 2.5 years ago. I've always had questions, but I went on a deep journey about 2.5 years ago. And it was just me really seeking truth for myself. And I discovered that truth, and I was becoming comfortable, learning to accept and walk in that truth. So I'm at work one day and I get a comment on my Instagram picture that says, "Oh, you work at the airport. How cool." I almost screamed. I was like, gosh. It's summer! Babe, I had not heard from you. I had not
and I've been following you this entire time.
Anything from you.
Yeah, that's so weird.
One post. I said, it's summer! Babe, something
Aw.
told me that we were in similar spaces. I had no
Yeah.
idea,
Well, I
where
mean, you
you
knew I
were.
was cussing.
Oh, then yeah, I
Yeah.
don't know what you were doing, but
Yeah.
I felt like I could reach out to you. So I reached out
Always.
to you again on very platonic stuff, like,
Yeah.
yo,
I
like,
was
oh
so
my gosh,
excited.
it's so good to hear from you or see you. And then I don't remember what you said, but then I was like, let me find out. Both of us are some badasses or something like that.
I was
And
like,
then
er?
oh, that shocked you.
You're using profanity as well.
Now I'm
No,
using profanity.
that shocked me for
Did
real.
it?
Yeah. I said, I know she didn't say badass.
Badass.
Badass. Yeah,
Yeah.
that shocks me
So,
for real.
oh man, that's funny. So I wanted to connect with you like instantly. I was
Yeah.
like, Summer is my girl. Like I felt that connection again.
Yeah.
And then so what? Okay, I can't remember exactly.
Sure.
Okay.
I mean, so we just, we DM'd a couple of times
Yeah.
and we kind of briefly caught up via
Yeah.
DM. And then I think that's when you asked to come for my birthday.
Okay, so found out your birthday was right around the corner.
Yeah.
I was like, I gotta hang out with her because one, I felt like you could get me. I knew
For sure.
anything I shared with you, I felt free. I felt like you were always an open, free spirited person.
Mm-hmm.
Even when you were heavy, like I never felt your judgment or anything towards me. But I knew I could share what was going on with me, and it was a lot going on with me, right?
It was. There was a whole lot, nothing I was expecting. So
it was a whole lot. I was a whole heathen.
No, you were just like you were a whole evolved person. And life had come full circle and it was so cool to see your growth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh. So I was adamant about trying to connect with you for your birthday. You told me, you and your sister would normally do something for your birthday. So I was like, okay, well, I probably won't get to hang out. That's fine. But then
you were kind of persistent, honestly.
Persistent. You said I was a little pushy. I
a
wasn't
little bit.
Trying to
I mean, I was just like, yeah, I might have some stuff going on. Dang. And you were just like,
I know.
But what you doing?
But what? But what
you doing though?
Oh my god!
I was like, oh my
what was
goodness,
wrong with me?
Pushy.
I was like, okay, so did you and your sister decide to do anything?
I text my sister and I was like, I don't know what to do. Like, so
that was bad.
it was okay.
I really wanted to hang out with you, and it was your birthday, so I just wanted to. I knew that would be a good time to catch up if you weren't doing anything.
So you fly to DC.
So yep, I flew out to DC. We had a good time. Like
we had a great
nervous. Time. It was so.
You
weird.
were super nervous.
So nervous.
It was so crazy to see you again.
Yeah.
But you were just as beautiful.
I was.
Yeah.
Thank you, babe. You were too.
Oh, thank you.
Sweet. So you pull up and we had a good time. We had brunch. That's when I learned your taste when it comes to ordering all of the courses.
That's
and
hilarious.
Yeah, that was
we'll talk about that another time.
No, so all right, let's wrap it up. Okay, so we had a good time. After that, you took me to the airport.
Mm-hmm.
I was sad.
Aww.
I was like,
I didn't know you were sad.
I love this girl. Like, I really do love her. And of course, still on mostly platonic. But I started feeling.
Yeah, because I'm like, mostly.
Feeling a shift. When we played pool, I ain't gonna lie. I was like, oh my gosh. Why do I feel like we have chemistry? But
But we always had a level of chemistry, but it was just friendship
It was
chemistry.
friendship,
And it
yeah.
was like genuine. It was all love. You were the kind
Yeah.
of friend where I felt like if ever we reconnected, it would just be like picking up where we left off. It never
Yeah.
felt like we had to like rev up and figure out how to become friends again. It
That's
was
true.
just always very, very natural.
I agree.
So
Go
we're
ahead.
playing pool and you're feeling a little bit more than friendship at this point. Mind you, I still don't know your like the fullness of anything. Um and when I say the fullness of anything, to those of you obviously who are just gaining insight and context, she had already had a female
Situation.
ship. Yeah, it wasn't a relationship, but definitely
Toxic ass situation.
yeah, definitely a situation. And but we were just friends. So then you left.
Yeah, I left. And what happened? I'm trying
You
to think
couldn't
between
you
then.
couldn't let me go. Like
Oh wow.
you said that.
Wow.
You said that I was just in your mind or something like
Yeah,
that.
I couldn't let what I felt go. So I felt there was that connection that came back, but this time it was on a little different level. So I would try to, hit you up through text or whatever. You had the group chat about health and wellness or something. But I would always try to like get your attention a little more, but you still
No, you were definitely
like,
flirting heavy on Instagram and I was not
babe.
feeding into your stuff. I did not want to ruin our friendship. And I think that's kind of leading into where we are today. Like, I did not want to ruin our friendship. I knew you were flirting with me. And I was like, this girl has to be crazy. At this point, we've been in and out of each other's lives for going on like 14 years. I'm like, there's no way I'm going to allow her to up our friendship by getting into a relationship.
Are you surprised I was flirting with you?
Hell yeah. I was super surprised. And also I had our friendship in the forefront of my mind, and I've seen like heard horror stories of people, decimating friendships because they got into a relationship.
Yeah. So
I just didn't want that for us.
You were serious about that.
Very much.
I was really
hot in the
being
pants.
bad. Yeah, in the DMs. They said it goes down in the DMs. I never knew what that meant until then. So, but I was, saying little stuff here and there, and then you called me out one time, blasting me on Instagram on a picture.
Oh my goodness.
I was like, wow, she really calling me out.
No, because okay, babe, you were putting like the emoji with the sweating and the tongue out and the red face, and I'm like, I know. Stop playing in my face. Ladidra, stop playing with me. You have no idea the fire that you are playing with right now. I'm a whole Virgo and I'm a lot.
God.
So I'm like, okay, you keep playing.
So
turn your ass out.
So one night, okay, after I just felt like there was just no hope, I had been flirting, I had been just kind of playing around or whatever. One night, I'm in the mirror. I'm just getting ready for bed or whatever. And I look at my phone. Now, mind you, in my head, I'm like, I'm just done. She don't like me like that. Whatever. I look at my phone. I got a DM. I'm not going to
What I say?
What
I say?
You said, what happens when I eat your like a Thanksgiving pie?
That's all I said.
No, there was a little Teletubby thing. What did you say? What happens when I eat your like a Thanksgiving pie? And something about that little thing you sent me. That little yellow thing was doing like it was jumping around.
Oh my gosh!
I fell on the floor. I fell on the
Because
floor.
I was sick of your shit, and I'm like, okay, you gonna stop flirting with me, you gonna stop playing with me, because if you get with
Oh
me, you're not gonna
no!
leave.
This is what you said. What
What?
happens when I rock your world like this thing, that little yellow thing, and eat your like a Thanksgiving pie? I
Yeah.
fell on the floor, babe.
Well,
I said,
stop playing with
"Ooh,
me.
oh my god." First of all, I felt validated. I felt like I wasn't crazy. It
No.
felt good to know that, okay, she is at least feeling
I thought you
something.
were gorgeous from day one. I always thought you were gorgeous, but I always wanted to protect our friendship.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
So,
that,
yeah. So, when you popped in my DMs, I was still hella attracted to you. That never changed.
I had no clue. So that was it from there. I was just speechless, and I was like, "This girl ain't
Enthralled.
playing. She ain't playing." I knew it. I knew she had it in her. I know she wasn't innocent.
Oh, that's. You
I
have
she
no
wasn't
idea.
innocent.
Well, I guess you have an idea
I
now.
have all the ideas.
Ooh.
um.
So,
So
I mean, that kind of leads us to today.
okay.
We reconnected. We decided to. I mean, we got together New Year's Eve, and I
Oh
think that
yeah.
really like cemented
Oh my
things for
God. New
us.
Year's Eve was
New Year's Eve
all she
was
wrote. Fire.
poppin'.
Fire.
Yeah, New
Yep.
Year's Eve was crazy fire, and yeah, and I guess you know,
That was it. We had an amazing time and solidified our relationship.
yeah,
And the next thing you know, you begging me to move in. And
wow, that's how we're gonna end things, huh?
that's how we're gonna end it.
I'm
Leave
not
it
even
right
gonna make any
there.
corrections. You got that. You. Let's go with
You
that.
gonna give me that one?
Hmm.
Okay.
I love you.
I love you too.